Thanks, Christy. First quarter disposals, 99-65. Tigers win the first and the second of the second term, and Tuck should make it a big one. How will it land? How will it bounce? Not the way Richmond needed.
Well, they'd be happy with that. At least the Tigers, they got a clearance out of the middle, which they struggled in that first quarter.
Swans bring it away quickly through Ablett towards half forward. O'Keefe tries to knock it on, and there's a free kick in the meantime. Now, should be advantage. I don't know why it wouldn't be advantage, because the ball went to the back, but umpire McBurney said, no, you must bring it back. So, Ryan O'Keefe. There's Barry Hall, Michael O'Loughlin in the background. Swans.
The Swans are
last
actually
11 marks.
They're huddling inside their forward 50 now, so we just get a release play here. Got a little block.
And the mark's taken by McVeigh. 60 from goal. Looking sideways there. In the end, chips in that direction. Mark taken by Barry. So all 36 players in the attacking half for the Swans. Tigers have got numbers back, really crowding that forward 50. So Barry patiently kicks across the ground to Schneider. Oh, dangerous kick towards O'Keefe. Ball to the back.
Chop of the arms. Chop of the arms.
So O'Keefe, another free kick.
The huddle's happening inside the forward 50 for the Swans.
So Ryan O'Keefe, again, they need to be patient. Now, he's got an option across the ground. He ignores that and kicks wide, very wide. And it's okay, though. Mark taken by Jude Bolton. Short to O'Loughlin, who marks right on the boundary line in the forward pocket. So a difficult angle, but if anyone can thread it from there, he's certainly the man. Decides to go for the short pass, and gee, that was loose checking. Luke Ablett has marked 40 metres from goal. Angle certainly a lot better than the one that confronted Michael O'Loughlin. Tigers fans aren't happy. And there's the chopping of the arms. So Luke Ablett, a chance to extend this Sydney lead. An outstanding first quarter in which they kicked 8 goals from just inside 50. He has kicked the first behind of the afternoon for Sydney. They are now 8-1. The Tigers 4-3.
So a let-off for Richmond. Joel Bowden with another huge task on his hands today. Barry Hall, and Mobius getting to it. That was dangerous, and Brett Kirk has picked it off and can line up for his second. Adam Good saying, you take the shot, don't give it away.
Not a pleasant feeling when that happens, Michael.
No. It's you just got to hope he hasn't got his kicking boots on, Steve.
Swans have taken 12 marks inside 50. Richmond just 2, and they've scraped the post. I think it's a behind anyway. And suddenly the Swans are missing the target. 2 behinds on the trot. The margin 23 points. And if Richmond could kick the next one, well, they just might feel as though things are turning their way. Daniel Jackson, one of the late inclusions. Hall in a defensive role here. Chance for Coughlin. Has runners. Hyde, one of them. Oh, the hand pass was on, and Hyde, I reckon, is a better kick. Richardson and Roberts-Thompson. Richo with the recovery. Throw-in coming up.
I think the other thing there, it looked as though Coughlin had about 15 or 20 metres. He could have kept going. He decided and elected to kick from 50, when in fact he could have kept going and run to 30 and made sure of it. Boundary throw-in. Tigers in attack. Stafford uncontested. Down towards Tuck. He's well tackled by Kirk again. Coughlin tried to slip. Goods couldn't. Cracker hard up against the line and over. So another boundary throw-in. So another boundary throw-in. Big pack of players around the ball. Stafford over the top. Jolly to the front. Cracker just couldn't quite pick it up. And we'll get another boundary throw-in.
A bit more involved in this game, Andrew Cracker, than he sometimes is. He up in a forward pocket.
Here's the situation, Tim, that I was talking about. Look at the space in front of Coughlin. Perhaps not 20 metres, but certainly another 5 or 6 if he had have seized that moment.
Stafford, the former Swan. Cracker again, but again he's hemmed in.
just getting back to your point, Michael, just wonder whether there was enough talk from his Richmond teammates.
See, that's not a push in the back off.
Surely. Goodness me. It's as though it's not in the rule book anymore. Stafford. Cracker will have another go. He's been busy, but he's well tackled that time by Jude Bolt. Kennelly to the running Buchanan. Went a long way. Tiger fans were getting excited. Rains making the spoil. Hartigan giving it back to him. Joel Bowden causing Newman to stop and wait for that. Good kick. Simmons. Richmond badly needing to kick the next goal. Just an arm wrestle here in the early part of the second term. Patrick Bowden picking that up just above the Telstra Dome grass. Now this is the important kick. Can someone take a mark inside 50? Tuck very nearly did.
Free kick.
No mark, but there is a free kick, and Shane Tuck can line them up. Roberts Thompson, the offender, arriving late. Did you teach him that one, Sauce?
I might have taught him that. But,
taught him too well.
Yeah, just looking at Brett Kirk, it looks like Jackson's tagging Kirk. Obviously, Kirk having 13 disposals in that first quarter, so a huge job for young Jackson.
Now he needs to nail this. Seemed to be speaking to himself, maybe a little routine, just mumbling a couple of words. Keep your head down, kick through it, don't miss. He missed. Bad miss. They needed better there. Still the Swans by 22.
Kennelly out wide. Barry just waiting here as something to present, and Stafford slipped over, so I was able to gain some more meterage and delivers to O'Keefe on centre wing. Ryan O'Keefe towards half forward. Goods in good position here and marks strongly. He's away, chips it towards full-foot. Hall, one out. Barry Hall got rid of Bowden. Too big, too strong. And that's always going to be a problem, one-on-one.
And it was great play by Goods because he took the mark and he got back quickly and he wheeled back long to the square. Just a bit of fend off there. It was interesting in that cup, you weren't allowed to use your hands to fend off an opponent. Obviously, they've lightened up on that in the course of this season.
Haven't got a multiple goal kicker so far this afternoon. We have now Barry Hall's kick too, puts the Swans further in front. So the margin now to 28 points. In fact, the Swans have doubled Richmond's score, and it was good cooperative play. And Coughlin there just losing goods, and you can see here Joel Bowden, Steve, just eyes not on the ball, and Barry Hall was able to just sneak in front and take a comfortable mark.
Well, Goods got back nice and quickly. It was a long bomb to the square, and that always puts defenders under pressure when you're one-on-one in the goal square.
Another Sydney mark inside the 50. Another goal. And look at that. 13-2. Richmond without, not so much without a tall marking target because they have Richardson, but they haven't had the method in their build-ups to provide him with the opportunity. And what price Shane Tuck's shot at goal now. He missed at one end. Sydney immediately kicked one at the other. And they might win this ball. But it's coming back. Umpire Stephen Grun awarding a free kick to Rains, who pumps long to not very much, but far, taking a beauty over the top of Jude Bolton and almost touching the Telstra Dome roof. Well, not quite, but he got the set.
And more importantly, Tim, it's a mark inside 50.
Kicked 1-5 last week against Essendon. What's he done here? He's lobbed it with Greg Stafford. Now, did he mark that in the square? If he did, he can kick from plumb in front, but apparently he didn't.
Leo Barry appealing to the umpire there. Not quite sure whether he's appealing that he may have been pushed out.
Let's have a look at where he marks it. I reckon the ball was inside, but he wasn't. So from the angle, he runs around and he drives it home, and the Tigers get their fifth.
So Leo Barry there. There's the mark from Pettifer, up high. And here's the push out. There's what Leo Barry was talking about.
Yeah.
Pushed fair and squarely in the middle of the back. But the umpire allowing it to stand. And a good mark by Stafford, standing tall. And the Tigers stay within touch. So Richmond back to within 22 points of the Swans, and they're doing very well in the centre clearances. They've won the last 5 out of the centre. Jolly decisively this time to Ablett. Feeds the handball. Fosdyke hoists it high towards half-court. O'Keefe and Newman. Brilliantly done by Buchanan. Handball back. Okay for O'Keefe, who concedes further ground. Bolton for the kick it quickly and does. Oh, loose player inside attacking 50. Buchanan from 30. Drop punt across the face. He'll be disappointed with that. And he has registered a behind for the Swans. Margin out to 23 points.
And it's hovering at about that level and has done for quite a while now. Tigers escaping. Foley working it pretty well to Polo. Quiet so far, but Williams has been too. A little double-handed scoop from Patrick Bowden. Works out all right. Hides a left footer. Needs to get it off. Just miscued it a little. Pettifer couldn't get up that time. Delidio needed clean hands. Jude Bolton. Swans are away. Richmond need to hold up. Kennelly. Davis. O'Keefe. Well tied up by Newman. Richmond fans starting to get into the game a bit. Harding it off to Polo. Good ball. Richardson. Roberts-Thompson clawing him. No free. Pettifer just trying to edge it out with his boot. Still it's play on. Richo just couldn't escape. It's a Richmond free kick. And a scoring chance. Greg Tivendale is a long kick. Let's see what he got if we didn't have the footy. Well,
gee, it wasn't given the. I was just about to say it's been great umpiring, just letting the game go, but that one has been plucked out.
So Tivendale within his range to cut the margin. Thumping kick, and he's missed it. And the margin is 22.
So apart from a blistering opening 7 minutes in which the Swans kicked 4 goals, it's been very even. Tigers have been able to get things back on an even keel since then. There's good marks at halfback, delivers, good kick and mark, taken by O'Keefe. He's been very busy. He chips it further afield. Hall has to be strong in the contest, and he is. Pressure coming from Bowden. Barry Hall. Chips further afield. Mark taken by Davis. Hall's taken 7 marks, had 7 disposals. Lead on from O'Loughlin. Is he pushed out? Yes. Free kick against McGuan, first gamer. And Michael O'Loughlin beyond his range. Outside 50, there's Richards making an option. That's what's ahead of him. Short kick is okay. And O'Keefe again getting involved. 5 marks for him, coming in for his 13th disposal. And perhaps not beyond his kicking range, Ryan O'Keefe. Will need to kick at 55 metres. Barry Hall. Now, what's he going to do here? Put himself in a little bit of trouble. They work it through. Ablett, the quick kick towards full forward, and O'Loughlin as the kick dropped in short. I don't think that was quite how the plan was meant to work, but they got away with it.
It wasn't meant to work, and you're spot on there, Michael. But interesting to note that the Swans brought that ball in from a kick out, and not once did Richmond touch that ball. And I reckon the Swans probably had at least a dozen possessions in that spate of about 2 minutes of play.
So Michael O'Loughlin has taken 7 marks, kicked a goal. Chance for his second from just 30 metres. He pops it through. Swans further in front. So 2-1 in their second term, and the margin back out to 28 points.
And this was Ryan O'Keefe looked like he was going to play on very quickly. This was a fortunate kick, but this is the beauty about playing in front. O'Loughlin in front and kicks this easy goal. That's his second of the game.
And a few old-time defenders might be shedding tears. Luke McGuan hanging back 3 metres there. Michael O'Loughlin second. Luke McGuan in his first game caught napping a few metres astern. Simple mark, easy shot for goal. Jolly, rucking, roving, not quite reaching his target. Williams now, pretty quiet so far in his 300th. Does well here to Ablett. O'Loughlin, 1 out. Touched ball.
Really well done on that occasion, McGuan. Looked like O'Loughlin had worked him under the ball, but got a fist to it. Well done.
So the Swans out to a 29-point lead, the biggest of the match to date. As Bowden chips into the back pocket. Mark taken by Deledio. Decides to take them on. Puts the foot down. Well played, Brett Deledio. 3 bounces. Not going to use it effectively. Kick towards half forward. Over the head of Hughes. Coming up to meet it, Richardson. 3 on 3 here. Well done, McVeigh. Good tackle. Tied him up. Fosdyke called to play on. No, it'll come back now. And McVeigh rewarded for his tackle at half back. Williams, game number 300. Wonderful achievement. Kirk, short kick, just the 15, you'd think. O'Keefe, 6th mark, 14th disposal coming up for Ryan O'Keefe. Penetrating one, Goods at the back, Hall in front. Malcheski's got it. Well tackled by Hyde. Tigers have got the numbers there as they work it through Polo. Oh, McGuan, look out, but he did it pretty coolly in the end. Hyde tried to get round Fosdyke, couldn't. Got the handball clear though. Crouch, kicks it though. Goods is all by himself. He waited back at him, Goods, and he'll stroll in and kick another one for the Swans. Their 11th. Heartbreaking stuff, that for the Tigers. Adam Goods waiting back, and the margin now out to nearly 6 goals. It stands at 35 points.
And it was a forward line pressure here by the Swans. They're tackling. That they're obviously known for their ferocious tackling, but this is what happens when a team is committed to a chase and a tackle, and Goods was on the end of it.
Well, he might look like a patched up, half-broken old warrior, but Adam Goods has kicked Sydney's 11th. And some real damage being done to the Richmond cause now. Chris Hyde must have thought if Luke McGuan can do it, so can I, but he got caught, turned it over, and the Swans cashed in. Kirk winning another clearance. Out in front of Schneider. Kept his feet when Hardigan lost his. Late thrust by Foley, but Schneider did it beautifully, and Malcheski can light them up. It is all Sydney. Adam Schneider started out as very much the goal sneak, but he's become more than that.
Just great recovery, and to be able to hit a target under pressure was very well done.
And this to stretch it further. Malcheski, yes, squeezing it home, and Sydney lead by 41.
Simmons winning it out, and Deledio's handball. Kirk again doing the damage in the centre, and he's been so instrumental this afternoon. There's the slide by Schneider, but got to his feet immediately, and on his non-dominant side was able to use it effectively. And what about Dean Polo? Just 2 possessions this afternoon after 28 last week in a best on ground performance. Big Chambers doing the ruck work against Simmons, and that margin out to 41 points. Concerning one for the Tigers. Need to kick the next goal. Well done, Tivendale. Tambling, breaks one tackle, kicks across the ground, and the mark's taken by Hyde. Got some treatment, plays on quickly, just slewed off the side of the boot. Simmons pursued by Chambers. His kick looking for Richardson. He can turn his in space here. Matthew Richardson off a step. Oh, wonderful goal. Great stuff from Matthew Richardson. Hasn't had too many opportunities this afternoon, but when he has, he's certainly made the most of them. And good creative play. He kicks his second.
Just looked as though something happened off the ball. Roberts-Thompson just is on his haunches at the minute, and Richardson was able to find the space and kick the easiest of goals.
2 to Richo, but he is like the boy with fingers in the dike, plugging holes. There are lots of them. Lewis Roberts-Thompson having a tough day. Swans by 35. Late in the second quarter. Chambers rucking for Sydney against Simmons. Tuck. Clever hand pass. Hartigan tied up. So another ball up. Swans really starting to work their way into form after a shaky start to the season in the year of their title defence. Malcheski. Richmond able to slip away here, and now McGuan, who's come up the ground, can try and build something for them. Places it for Richardson. That was a good kick, and Richardson has done just enough to be awarded the mark.
Did really well there, Richardson. Like, he was at full stretch, running at full pace, and to be able to catch the ball or mark the ball at that speed.
Now look at this, Steve. Marks quarter by quarter, dominant by the Swans, not only in the first quarter but also in this quarter. And if we look at marks inside 50, again, dominance of quite significant magnitude.
Well, Richo's just taken their 5th inside 50, and that's his first mark of the day. It is a thumping kick. It's a judge touch. Gee, I thought that might have carried home, and he looks baffled by that outcome. Just on that shot, I thought it might have carried the line.
I tend to agree, but the umpire, or goal umpire, was fairly positive, but he didn't take too much time to make the call.
So the Swans away here. Kennelly, wonderful kick to Goods. Gee, such a hard man to match up on Adam Goods. Kick towards half forward. Fosdyke fighting hard against Hyde. Good battle that. Hyde fighting on. Numbers with the Tigers. Coughlin hard up against the line. And that was a poor effort. Free kick to Sydney.
Let's have a look at that touched ball now. Chambers getting out.
Oh dear.
Did it touch the post? That's the only possibility.
The kick is marked by Hall. Now there's a good look at where Hall has marked the ball, just a metre or two in from the boundary line. We'll need to kick at 50 metres, so big challenge this. Decides to kick short. Oh, good lead provided by Ablett.
Quite unbelievable. A lot of.
Let's have another look at this now. There's the umpire, and no, he definitely signalled touch. He didn't signal that it hit the post.
No, he didn't.
He signalled that it was touched. So I fear he may have made a boo-boo there, Tim.
It does look like it.
So here's Luke Ablett at the other end. This would be damaging. From the drop part, there's a beauty. He's kicked the goal for the Swans. Adds salt to the wound.
Well, that's a heartbreaker, and Richardson knows it. He could tell from where he was that he kicked a goal. Luke Ablett immediately given a breather.
But it is significant because all of a sudden you're talking about the game being back to 29 points as opposed to the margin at the moment 40.
And look, the call was a wrong one. Disappointing for Matthew Richardson and the Tigers.
There's the goal umpire. I wonder if he's pondering that. He, I think, got himself out of position. It was one of those awkward ones, and he moved late to try and cover the line, but there was a crowd of players there, and it perhaps made it difficult for him to get an unobstructed view. Sydney with the game well under control. Chambers winning it away for them. Hall leading Bowden to it. just holding it in.
And Tim, getting back to the call though, it was a shot at goal, so you would have thought a goal umpire, a boundary umpire, would have been on the behind post as well, that would have been able to adjudicate whether it was touched or not.
As you said, Steve, he was very decisive, the umpire, the goal umpire.
Absolutely decisive. He just got it wrong. Here's Polo with Fosdyke. Simmons, good turn of speed to Coghlan. Good breakaway this by the Tigers. And they have the numbers up here. Richardson, but Barry, Leo Barry, you star.
He's marked at half-back, a two-time All-Australian. He's had a wonderful couple of years, Leo Barry. Bolton, he was one that perhaps was unlucky not to earn All-Australian honours last year. Craig Bolton to Williams, the 300 gamer, and now Jolly. There's a lead from O'Loughlin. It's ignored. He's still there, Michael O'Loughlin. Jolly didn't want to kick to him, thought he might kick to Hartigan instead. That was poor work from Darren Jolly. And after O'Loughlin was able to jar and get a 15-metre advantage on Luke McGuan. Under 3 minutes left in the half. Tigers bring it through Hartigan. Well, range, put him under the pump. He's able to just compose himself, get it back towards Hartigan. Handball. Oh, gee, Jackson, look out. He's able to get the kick away. Good pressure from Fosdyke. High towards half forward. All courageous effort from Tivendale. Play onto the court. Richards. Roberts-Thompson. Jolly had to get down low. And the boundary line too close. Pressure coming from Tambling. So a boundary throw-in at half forward for the Tigers.
So under 2.5 minutes left. And Richmond desperately needing a couple of goals before half-time to have a breath of a chance. Buchanan. Oakley Nichols in his path, and Polo, the two who made their debuts last week. Richardson arriving just a little late. Couldn't pluck it off Craig Bolton's fingertips. Just one mark, extraordinarily for Richardson, and yet he's been outstanding. Kicked 2 goals, 2. And we feel pretty strongly it should be 3 goals, 1. Jolly bringing it down in a good spot for the Tigers, but it's crowded. Craig Bolton, how did he get out of there? And that's a perfect placement, finding the line and tying Richmond up for the moment. Luke McGuan there, chasing Michael O'Loughlin, making his debut with Ray Hall and Andrew Kellaway. Both late withdrawals for the Tigers.
Interesting.
McGuan and Daniel Jackson coming in. Interesting,
Tim, that Darren Gasper was named as an emergency, but he obviously hasn't taken his position in the side either. So obviously some issues there with Gasper not playing this afternoon.
Yep, you'd imagine they might have opted for his know-how, particularly with a couple of wily customers like Hall and O'Loughlin against them.
Simmons decisively towards half forward, picked up by Craig Bolton off to Fosdyke. Now it's very open ahead of the play here. Fosdyke, no pressure, so he can just keep bouncing it through the midfield. He keeps going. Hall leads. That's ignored, or is it? No, he kicks it short to Kennelly. Kennelly's got an open forward line to deal with. If he can get it in quickly, sweeps the handball. Buchanan from 35, drop punt under pressure, goes through for a goal. The goal to the Swans. So despite being under pressure, Eamon Buchanan was able to get a good enough kick away, but gee, it was open. They moved it very quickly.
Well, they did. They didn't panic. They really didn't have too many forwards to kick to, and Kennelly was always going to try and get around on his right foot there. But great follow-up by Buchanan, and hasn't he become a very good player for the Swans? 16 disposals so far.
Well, close to half-time, and the pain just gets worse for Richmond. The Swans have kicked 14 goals in a half. The doer, unattractive, ugly Swans are on fire. Fosdyke pumps them forward again. O'Keefe with the flight. So it'll be a throw in. A minute left, and they showed in the first quarter they can still be dangerous in the last second. Ryan O'Keefe plucking a mark and kicking a goal after the siren. 46-point margin. It's been a thumping. Chambers doing okay. Fosdyke having a big couple of minutes here, and what a clever kick. unstoppable, and Adam Goods going to line them up from the angle. Fosdyke, 3 or 4 telling possessions in just a couple of minutes. And a daisy cutter. Adam Goods looks as though he's been to war. He's kicked 1 goal earlier in this quarter. He makes it 2, and this is a rout. The Swans 15 goals in a half in the first half. It doesn't happen often these days of defence-oriented football.
No, it doesn't. But you just have a look at the possession count, and the Swans aren't a team that sort of wastes too many possessions. They've had 167 possessions to 113. So we're halfway through a football game, Michael, and that's equivalent to 4 very good players. The difference in possession count.
It's a massive difference, and the other interesting thing is that the Swans have got and had 11 individual goal kickers with no player kicking more than 2. So they've spread it around as well. A wealth of goal kicking talent. Jude Bolton tunnel balls it through, but it's taken by Newman. Hyde, Foley, Rains. Look out, I was going to say Jeff Rains, Andrew Rains, who absolutely done cold. As the siren sounds for half-time, 8 goals in the first quarter to the Swans, 7 in the second. Outstanding half of football, and they go into the long break, Steve, leading by 52 points.
Yeah, they'd be very, very happy with the way they've played in that first half of football. But their midfielders have been exceptional. Kirk, Buchanan, O'Keefe's work off the half-forward line's been outstanding, and just at the minute, the Tigers are just struggling to win enough of the ball to get the ball to their forwards, and their only forward really is Matthew Richardson, even though he only had 2 possessions that quarter.
They're back. The Swans lead the Tigers by 52.